Okay, welcome back to the second half of the second video. I ran out of time as I was going through figure 1010 here, the different distribution channels. And so the last item here is organizations that sell through wholesalers. And a wholesaler, the purpose of a wholesaler is to take product from manufacturers and then break down the orders into smaller orders that smaller retail establishments can use. So for example, if I go back up to selling through retailer, a large retailer like a Walmart stores can buy directly from the producer and buy large enough quantities so that the producer is willing to sell directly. But if I'm a small mom or pop grocery store or drugstore, and I want to buy certain products, chances are I cannot buy enough of those products to meet the needs of the producer. So what the producer will do is sell to a wholesaler. The wholesaler is buying for multiple customers, and then they'll take that large shipment and break it down into smaller shipments and sell it to the small mom and pop grocery store or distribution, or pharmacy, etc., who then sells it to their consumers. So you really have producers that sell direct to consumers, producers that sell to retailers, and in some cases producers that sell to wholesalers as well. So what do those intermediaries do, those people in the middle, the retailers or the wholesalers? If you take a look on the left-hand side of this chart, I think it simplistically shows the value of having middlemen. So on the left you see the Tom's Tomatoes and the Maria's Macaroni and so on. And in this simple example, if you have 5 people making products and 5 customers on the right-hand side, in order for the customers to be able to buy all the products from all the different producers, you'd have as many as 25 transactions that take place. But by starting an intermediary, or in this case a supermarket, you cut those 25 transactions down to 10. So the producers on the left sell their products to the supermarket, so each one has a transaction. And then the 5 customers visit the supermarket, and they can purchase the products from the supermarket, and each one of them has a transaction, so you only have 10 transactions. So it makes getting the products to the customer that wants them in a more simplified way. So again, the distribution process is this idea of getting the product to the place where the consumer's willing to buy it. So the term that I'd like to have you learn is this intermediary, which is a wholesaler or retailer who helps move products from their original source to the end user. So an intermediary is anybody in the middle between the producer and the end user. As you saw with the slide right before, this one right here, each time you have more people involved, each of those people require a profit margin in order to operate their business. Thus, if you look at the price of certain products in a small mom and pop grocery store, chances are they're going to be higher than, say, a Walmart, who can, in this case, buy directly from the producer. But when you are a small organization and you have to buy from a wholesaler, then the retailer ends up passing that cost on to the consumer. Now, why are consumers willing to pay a little more? Well, that mom and pop grocery store or department store or drugstore is in their neighborhood. So the cost of going to the store, the time it takes to go to the store, etc., is reduced. And as a result, I might pay a little bit more to buy the product, but the time and effort and gas to get to that place that I want to shop is reduced. So lastly, we want to talk about the promotion P. Okay, the 4 P's of marketing, the promotion. So promotion, by definition, a promotion mix is the ways we communicate with customers, which include advertising, personal selling, sales, and publicity. So let's look at each of those. So we have the consumer looking for their product. The people who produce the product are looking to promote the product so that it helps us purchase. So what is advertising? Advertising is when a manufacturer or a retailer pays to advertise, okay, educate you on the products and service. So your television, your billboard ads, your radio ads, your online ads are all ways that the manufacturer or the retailer will spend money to educate you about the products they have, the features, the benefits, etc. In the lower left-hand column is what's called sales promotion. Products that are simple don't need people helping to sell. And so we use, in many cases, sales promotions to encourage people to buy the product now. And so if you see a television that's on sale for this week only, or any food product that is on sale this week, that's what we call a sales promotion. It's designed to get you to buy now, because if you don't buy now, the price is going to change, and in that case, the price is going to go back up to what it was. So a sales promotion is designed to get you to buy now. If we look at the lower right-hand column, that's personal selling. That's where products that are complicated need somebody to help explain them to us as consumers. So in some cases, televisions or automobiles or sophisticated cameras, those type of organizations will have salespeople so that when you go to look at that product, there's somebody there that can explain it to you and answer the questions for you. Lastly, in the upper right-hand column is what we call publicity or public relations. Some people will call public relations unpaid advertising, and that's a little bit of a misnomer, because advertising by definition is paid. But if a local newspaper runs a story about a product or about a college, for example, and they write a story about them, you really don't pay for that advertising. It's publicity, we call that. Publicity is where the news outlets or somebody in the media will create a story about you, and then they will tell that story. You don't pay for it. They pay to publicize it. So publicity and public relations are normally do not have as high a cost as advertising. Public relations might have some costs associated with it if what you're doing is trying to enhance your name. But if you are being written about again in a story, then that's not something that you would normally pay for. So what we've done today, or in this third video, is go through the 4 P's of marketing, or what's called the marketing mix: the product, the price, the place, and the promotion. Next, what we're going to talk about in the next session is what's called the product life cycle. All products go through this life cycle where they're introduced, grow, mature, and decline. Like I said, we'll talk about that next time.